Right, if you thought I'd gone above my station in previous videos, I'm out this morning looking at a 2020 BMW X5 3-litre diesel in the M spec. And this thing is a beast. Oh my goodness, does this thing fly. Absolute flyer. Nice metallic purple, but it's a bit dull. Needs hell of a machine polish. Hell of a machine polish. Inside is as nice as you'd expect it to be. It's bloody lovely. I've done a code read on this. I wasn't taking any risks at all. Look at that. Yeah, I wasn't taking any chance at all. The bloody rear seats are electric, man. No way. Yeah, I wasn't taking any risks with this one at all. So did a code read. Only thing it's got on it is a recall from BMW for an EGR cooler, but that's saying on the screen that it is free if you take it back to BMW to have that done. I've given it full chat to make sure there's no smoke coming out the back. Let's check these seats work a second. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I've given it full chat to make sure we got the performance we should have without any smoke. Mileage is 63,000 miles. The last people to service it were Moore's Garage, so we're going to give them a call in a minute and check that they don't know anything nasty about it. Bodywork wise, it seems to be okay. We're just going to have a very close look in a minute, and then we've got to go and see if we can do a deal on it. Now, I think you probably already know it's not something I potentially would retail. I don't think. I've got a certain young man in mind, Mr. Kubert Cars. Kubert Cars. This is his cup of tea. I've got another chap in mind if he isn't up for it. So this is going to be a case of, can I make a few quid quick by trading it straight out? But the risk is that if I agree to buy it and then one of them bails, I'm left with a car that's retail value is nearly £40,000, I think. Scary times. The risks get bigger and bigger with Chops Garage, don't they, people? Well, everyone, I pulled the trigger. I bought the X5, and this is by a huge margin the most expensive car I've ever bought whilst having Chops Garage, or CG Cars as its proper name is. So yeah, very expensive bit of kit, and understandably that's got me a little bit nervous. Now, I think most of you know this isn't the kind of car that I'm going to retail here. It's retail, it says about £40,000, I think, and I'm just not in a position, one, to have that much money tied up in stock, and two, really, I think, to do that kind of vehicle with the finance. And I'm not entirely sure I want to either, however big the margins are. Not at the moment, anyway. So what I did with this car is I got it something called underwritten. So for those of you that are watching the channel aren't car dealers or haven't had experience in car dealers, what you can do is get car underwritten. That means you go out to other car dealers and you say, what would you give for this? And you get them to agree what they'll pay for it. Now, obviously, to do that, you need to be absolutely incredibly accurate on your description of the car, because otherwise they could bail on you. So for this example, like I said before, I did a code read on it. I did an extended test drive on it. I did a very in-depth video for our potential buyer as well. As Moore's Garage were in fact the last people to service this car, I also gave them a ring, asked them what they knew about the owner, and found out something interesting. The owner of this is the chap whose gardener he got the Polo for over there. So the Polo I've got over there was his gardener's car that he got for him. So yes, so I spoke to him and said, any reason you know of for him getting shot at the car? And the reason that I got tied in exactly with the reason that I was given at the garage, which is fed up with BMW rinsing him for cash every time he goes in there and charging him silly servicing prices and trying to get him to do loads of extra work. So he was fed up of that. He's decided he's gone and got himself a brand new Kia. I don't know which model he got actually. But yeah, so that story tied in perfectly correctly. Morse didn't have any concerns about the vehicle at all. I say I did my incredibly detailed video. And this car is going to Rob Kubert at Kubert Cars. I don't know if you've seen his channel. I'll put a link to it in the video description down below. He specialises in prestige stuff. And he's got the cojones to sell things like this. He sells Ferraris, he sells Lotus, he sells Mercedes, he sells all kinds of things. very high-end cars, but you do need to leave a very fat margin for them on cars. That is, if you watch his videos, you'll find that his warranty repairs run into, well, you know, £5,000 is a small one for him. So the margins need to be really big on a vehicle like this. So yeah, so I sent Rob all the videos, I sent him all the information. Obviously, he's still not paid me for it. He's not going to pay me for it till he picks it up. So, and that might happen in a week's time. So I will be on tender hooks in between. He could obviously pull out at any point and leave me with the vehicle. Luckily, I think I bought it with enough margin that I will be able to sell it on to anyone else that does this kind of a car. The only thing that he was a little bit concerned about was would this paintwork really polish up. So what I needed to do is I did a little spot for him over here where I gave it a quick buff just by hand, not with a machine polisher, but just by hand, just to show him that it was only just light, what we call the Devon rash from the bushes. So I was able to confirm with him that that will polish up okay. I tell you what, this thing, I think I said before, goes so well. It goes really, really well. Obviously, I got another chance to drive it for an extended test drive, bringing it back here. And I genuinely have no concerns. I think I've done my due diligence as far as I possibly can. Any purchase in this industry is a risk. I think Rob's got the most calculated risk you can have because he knows that I'm straight and don't want to drop anything on him. And he can see the extents I've gone to make sure that I've checked it as thoroughly as I can. He's already priced up things like replacing the cracked wing mirror cover here, that bit there. He's priced all that kind of stuff up. He knows it's got a recall on it on the dashboard for going and getting the EGR done with BMW. I mean, he's probably experienced all that kind of stuff. It will make a fantastic car. He's going to put a video up on transforming this and getting that for sale. So again, I'll make sure there is a link to his channel down below. He has a full-time, I'm not going to call him a valeter because he's a detailer. He's like the proper full-blown, you know, 3-stage to paint, deep cleans, all that kind of stuff because of the level of vehicle Rob does. So this will be looking the daddies when it's done. I'm genuinely quite interested to see what the score is. But I think I'd be surprised if anyone is in the comments telling me I should have tried to retail this, because I think most people will understand why I didn't do it. Why did I get involved in it at all? Well, because there was some money to be made out of it. There was some money to be made out. I was passing the car on with a fat margin to the person retailing it, but I was also making a decent money out of it myself. Probably about the same as flipping a cheapie, but without obviously doing any work other than driving the car back here and sending a video. But there was obviously a heavy amount of risk associated, because as I said, Rob could have pulled out, and I still haven't got the money in the bank from him yet. So it's just one of those calculated risks, and as we say all the time, we're just gamblers in this game, just big gamblers. One gamble I can tell you is I never would have bought this if I didn't have Rob lined up, and I never would have done a deal like that with somebody that I didn't know, that I hadn't had previous experience with. When it comes to trade sales, again, it's like consumers. You need to pick who you do business with. There's a lot of people that slip into trade groups and so forth as saying they're traders, but they're not really. And then you get all the hassle of a consumer sale with them coming back to you when the car's got problems. If you're doing trade, you need to know the dealers that know the score, know it's a gamble. They know what they want to pay for the car. They always pick them up when they say they're going to pick them up. They always pay the money they say they're going to pay you, and you never hear anything about the vehicle again afterwards. You've got to know who to deal with this, so it's not something I'd recommend going out and doing. It's a big risk unless you know exactly who you're going to sell the car to first. I have in fact actually just had a message from Rob to say that I'm going to be picking his driver up from Umberley train station on Monday. So I seem to do a lot of runs to train stations at the moment, don't I? But it works, so why not? So yeah, hopefully that all goes smoothly. I imagine someone in the comments is probably saying I should have kept it for myself, but I think any of you that watch this channel regularly know that I am far too tight to have that much money tied up in one car for myself. And as you can see from this vehicle, here in Devon, going down the lanes all the time, which I am, this is what happens to your car unless you spend every weekend machine polishing it. That's why you want a cheapy beater that you can just stick in the hedges like the old Range over there. Hey, quick shout out to Mark and Mandy. I've just received a light from them to thank me for the videos, which I really, really appreciate. You're probably wondering why I didn't say something earlier. It actually went to completely the wrong address. It's turned up at somebody's house up the road, but luckily they dropped it to me. It's funny because Pete was whinging at me the other day that I've got no decent lights at all. In this game, you cannot have too many lights like this for when you're working on cars. And you probably saw me struggling in one of the videos on my phone or something. That's probably why you had the idea of sending this to me. So Really do appreciate it, Mark and Mandy. Thank you ever so much, and thanks for making the videos as well. So there we go. Rob's driver is leaving with the X5, and I have his funds in my bank account, so I can breathe a little bit easier now on that one. Good to do business with someone. It's good to their word. The driver did go all over the car and just double check with Rob on the phone that the condition was as he expected and everything in the service computer was as expected, which is absolutely fine, which is why I took the time to video it all before he took it away. So ideal. Now in the meantime, I have just picked this up from one of our subscribers. I didn't ask if I could use his name, so I won't, just in case. One of our subscribers lives in Barnstable, just down the road. Just before Rob's drivers got here, I went and dropped our subscriber back to his place in Barnstable. He came by the other day offering me his Mocha on a 19 plate with the 1.4 turbocharged engine. Fantastic condition inside and out. He was an AA, I think it was AA or RSC driver himself, and then actually worked in one of the garages in Barnstable, I know, but look at the mileage on this. 14,302 miles. Whew. Mega low. Look at the seats. Everything is absolutely spankers, apart from the dog hair I've got everywhere from my dog, from my clothing, because I'm obsessed with cuddling it and it's got white hair. Gets everywhere. Anyway, yeah, this thing is absolutely mint. Full service history. Now you might say, why is there newspapers in the footwell? Bless him. The reason there's newspapers in the footwell is he wanted to keep his new mats all nice and mint for me. There they are in the back. Brand new, immaculate, with all the stitching still on them. So look at the carpet in the back here. Wow. Super clean. Super clean. So yeah, 1.4 turbocharged petrol means it will be good for those people doing the shorter journeys. The diesels you need to be doing longer journeys, otherwise they're going to get clogged up. Got a nice spec all around electric windows with fold. We've got Bluetooth, we've got cruise control. Have we got sat nav? I don't know if we've got sat nav on this one or not. I wouldn't have thought so. 6-speed gearbox, climate control, just absolutely spanking. I think all we need to do is put a ticket on this one and give it a, obviously a retail type valet. I might give it a little bit of a polish as well, make this red really pop. It's a sort of a dark red. It is metallic. It's like, I'd call it like a burgundy red. Well, not burgundy. We're just going to call it a dark metallic red, like a cherry red. It has got a metallic on it. I think it would probably benefit from a little polish just to pop a bit more. But there's no paint on the car at all needing doing. All the alloys are in excellent condition. Really nice car. So this one, all the subscriber cars I'm going to retail myself, so I'm not trading out subscriber cars unless there's a particular exception, because all your cars are so blooming lovely, and you know, I don't think I've covered the BMW yet, have I? They're so blooming lovely that I'd be mad not to retail them myself, because you've looked after them so well, described them perfectly. This one I've driven now, I've ended up driving it about, what, 40 minutes there and back, dropping them off. Drives like new, clutch is lovely, gearbox is lovely. Yeah, so I'd be mad not to. So you'll be spotting your cars out there. We've got another one to cover as well, the Peugeot.